It's that time of the year again. The hype for the next Call of Duty is officially here. But yeah guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Call of Duty Black Ops 6, giving you the pros and cons of the multiplayer beta, and at the end, I'm going to tell you if Black Ops 6 is truly worth buying. Let's get right into it. The movement has changed dramatically since the last Call of Duty title, Modern Warfare 3. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has brought the new Omnimovement, which allows for you to dive, slide, and run in any direction. And in my opinion, it's been revolutionary. It's been very innovative for this Call of Duty, in my opinion. You're able to slide so far, you're able to dive in any direction, you're able to sprint in any direction, and it just feels smooth, and it just feels right in a Call of Duty. In 10 years, I think we'll be saying, how did we ever play without Omnimovement? You know, looking back in 10 years time, I really do believe that we will be saying that. I just think the addition to sprint in any direction, slide in any direction, is going to create a massive skill gap, in my opinion, and it's going to create very, very cool plays for multiplayer. I think it gives the core gameplay a nice refreshing taste that I think we've been missing for the past few years. Call of Duty has become very, very stale, in my opinion. You know, Modern Warfare 3 was a DLC to Modern Warfare 2, like everyone knows. But honestly, this new Omnimovement is really spicing things up, in my opinion. So yeah, I really do believe that this new Omnimovement system is going to have a massive positive impact, in my opinion. From what I've played from the beta so far of weekend 1, it just feels very smooth. It gives you the upper hand when using it in gunfights. And, you know, basically, I'm able to run in any direction. I'm able to, you know, shoulder peek a corner before an enemy, you know, kills me. It just gives me a wide variety to use when approaching a gunfight, which I think is going to have a very positive impact for replayability. And it's not going to feel the same over and over again with the gunfights that you take.
Nice.
There are a few negatives that I have with this Omnimovement. I don't know if it's the Omnimovement or just like the movement in general that we've had in Call of Duty for the past few years, but yeah, the jump shot penalty is still there. I'm talking about when you jump shot and try to aim in, it's a very slow effect. I really don't understand why they've added this into the Call of Duty franchise the past few years, man. I have no idea why it's in Call of Duty. I feel like you should be able to jump and aim in without receiving a penalty, in my opinion, but I don't know, man. Hopefully they fix that. It is a bit better with perks and attachments, but it still doesn't feel fluid, in my opinion, and just makes the overall gameplay and gunplay a bit clunky, in my opinion. I think tag sprint shouldn't be in the game.
Brother,
I don't know why they have tag sprint in this game, because if you take away tag sprint, everything is just going to feel more smooth, more fluid, less clunky to, you know, slide into a gunfight. And also, you know, getting your gun up from a tag sprint, you know, when you're tag sprinting and you try to aim in out of a tag sprint, it's obviously very slow to get your gun up. And it just makes it far, far more clunky, in my opinion. And I don't understand why tag sprint is in this game. In my opinion, they should take away tag sprint and make the default sprint the speed of the tag sprint that we have now, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you agree with that. I think the bunny hop, this isn't really a con, it's just more of a personal preference, in my opinion. I think a bunny hop in this game, imagine a bunny hop in this game for those that have played it. It would be insane. For those that don't know what a bunny hop is, it basically means you were able to jump, and then as soon as you landed, you were able to jump again, and it was like, basically you were a rabbit. It was crazy in Modern Warfare 2019. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, I'm probably playing a clip right now of Modern Warfare 2019 bunny hop. If they had that in this game, it actually would be insane. And the last main con I have with the movement, I think that the mantling is actually terrible. I think the mantling is very slow, very clunky, and I think Modern Warfare 3 has the best mantling system that maybe we've ever seen in Call of Duty. Yes, I know the hanging off the ledge is very annoying, but for just mantling on an object, the Modern Warfare 3 mantle is super fast, super fluid, not clunky at all, and I feel like the Black Ops 6 mantle is very slow, and I do think that is a place that they can improve on very, very easily, in my opinion. Just make the mantling times faster so you're able to get your gun up, and able to, you know, kind of advance on from that position where you've just mantled and be ready for a gunfight or just move around the map quicker, in my opinion. The gunplay. The gunplay felt extremely smooth with the movement and the bullet reg. I'm very surprised that the bullet reg is very good in this game because Treyarch are known to have, you know, way worse bullet reg than studios like Infinity Ward. You always have the best bullet registration, but in this game I really found myself that I wasn't getting any, you know, ghost bullets or any weird connection issues during a gunfight, which was very surprising to me for a Treyarch title. I think that comes down to them having a long time to develop this game, for that 4 years. I definitely think that is one area where they've massively improved on in previous titles in terms of Treyarch games. The SMGs in this game felt incredible from a movement perspective. Yes, I'm trying not to go into the movement, but the SMGs felt incredible from a movement perspective, in my opinion. Yes, we know SMGs are much faster than ARs, but in this game with the movement combining an SMG, it was just so fun to play with an SMG, I can't lie, and deck it out with movement attachments. A lot of the guns had good strafe speeds, which is something that we've been missing in the past few years. When aiming down sight, I found myself being able to strafe left and right faster, which is a massive W in my opinion, because it's just going to create more of a skill gap. Obviously, if you're able to, you know, move left and right while aim down sight, it's going to be harder for that opponent to land those shots when you're in a gunfight with that guy. So I definitely think that's a major win for this Black Ops 6 game. One of the main things I found myself doing in this game was running left or right. It would make it so hard for them to hit their shots, because if I'm running right or left, and as soon as I aim down sight and I start to strafe even more, it's going to make it much harder for them to hit their shots. So I really think that strafing in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is back. There are a few cons that I have with the gunplay, and I think that they can be improved on pretty easily in my opinion. I think the ARs need to feel snappier with the ADS times, because they feel very slow. I'm an SMG player, always have been an SMG player, and I just feel like the ARs in this game feel very clunky. I feel like the ADS times, sprint to fire times, are very slow for the ARs, and you know, the jumping penalty combined with the aim down sight speeds for the assault rifles. I don't really like the assault rifles in this game. Yes, we've had an OP SMG in the beta, but that's not exactly why.
Stop the cap!
I just think that they're so much slower than the SMGs. I know people will be saying, well, obviously they're ARs, but I'm talking about, they just don't feel snappy, in my opinion. I feel like they should feel a bit more snappier in terms of the ADS times, in terms of getting your gun up in time to have a gunfight with someone. But let me know down in the comments below, do you think the movement for the ARs should be improved on? The TTK, this is a massive talking point, and in my opinion, I just don't like the TTK. I think the slower TTK, it's not extremely slow, it's kind of in between Modern Warfare 3 and like MW 2019, but I still think it's too fast. I think Modern Warfare 3 has the perfect TTK we've ever seen in Call of Duty. I feel like it creates for more consistent gunfights. Yes, there is headshot multiplier in Modern Warfare 3, which has actually been kind of taken away in Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which is a massive benefit to this game. A massive win for this game, headshot multiplier not being as prevalent compared to, you know, Modern Warfare 3, where it would make very RNG gunfights and you'd be like, how did I just lose that? But yeah, the TTK, in my opinion, is slightly too fast, and if you hit your first shots on someone, if you get first bullets on someone, if you die, you're horrible at the game. There's no way you die if you hit first shots in this game. Like I said, if you do, you should hang up the sticks and never play Call of Duty again.
Pow!
Because the TTK, in my opinion, is too fast. Yes, we've had a broken gun again, I will say that, the SMG, the Jackal PDW, which is absolutely busted in the beta, but in my opinion, I think the TTK is too fast, and I think we should revert back to the Modern Warfare 3. Yes, people hate Modern Warfare 3 2023, but in my opinion, if you miss shots, you're getting punished for missing those shots on Modern Warfare 3, whereas if you miss shots on Black Ops 6, you're not punished for missing shots on Black Ops 6. unless you literally miss half your mag. So yeah, that's my opinion on the TTK. I think it should be maybe a 1 bullet more. I think that would be a perfect spot for the time to kill, especially with this movement, in my opinion. The maps. The pros for the maps are very simple. I mean, there's only really one pro to the maps, in my opinion, and it creates for a lot of engagement, which makes it fun. However, I think there's a real problem with the current maps we have. I think we have too many small maps, and we need more medium-sized maps, in my opinion. I am a competitive player who plays ranked and wagers at the start of each Call of Duty.
We do not care.
And I'm worried for the competitive side of things this year, because the maps so far, apart from maybe Skyline, I don't think they are going to be in competitive Call of Duty. This is kind of just my personal thing, but even in general, man, you know, these maps are too small, and it's just kind of brain rot, honestly. These maps just create for a lot of brain rot, a lot of just brain dead running around, which I don't really like, in my opinion. I like being able to traverse a map, get on a flank, be able to hit the left right lane with my silenced SMG and try and flank an enemy, and it's just it's basically impossible in this game because, like I said, the maps are so small, the maps are very narrow, and I just think I'm very worried, man. I think the maps for this game could be make or break, because I am going to be honest, I really like the movement, I like the gunplay, but these maps, man, we gotta be working on something, because yikes, man.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
There's rumors of them bringing back Fringe from Black Ops 3, which would be awesome, as it's a great map. Hacienda from Black Ops 4, which is a fantastic map. Firing Range, as we know, is an unbelievable map. And other maps that are apparently getting remastered. I think Yemen was another map that is potentially coming back for Black Ops 6. So those maps are going to be very, very solid, especially for those competitive ranked players out there. The last thing I want to say on the maps, I feel like they've made all the small maps for audience retention, potentially. We know people love Shipment, and it's one of the most played playlists. So I'm thinking, did they look at the data and basically say, right, we know that people play this playlist the most, so, and the audience retention also seems to be high. So was there a decision in making all these small maps on the playlists like Shipment and seeing all the audience retention and the data and kind of like, you know, people like these small maps, so we're going to give people small maps? But I just think that it's going to get very repetitive, and it's just going to create for a lot of brain rot, in my opinion. Overall though, I feel like this isn't the same development team that made Black Ops 1 maps, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 maps, in my opinion. There is so much clutter around the maps, it kind of feels like they've just thrown maps together to advertise them having more maps, if that makes sense, which obviously kind of makes sense. I know that there's going to be keyboard warriors out there saying, this is what happens when you guys say we want new maps instead of the old original maps. Bro, like, I just want them to make a good 3-lane map. That's all I want. It's these maps that we're getting are so cluttered. They're just so small. I hate it so much, man. I don't know where they went wrong with making maps and the map layout of the 3-lane system. They said that the older maps were 3-lane systems, but it just feels so cluttered, like I said a million times, and it just doesn't feel organized, the map, in any way, for it to flow properly or for it to, you know, play in a specific way, in my opinion. Spawns, this can be tied into the maps, but the spawn system is actually horrible.
You absolutely suck!
And there's no excuse for having this bad of spawn systems. They've had 4 years to develop these maps, and to have this type of spawns system after this long is just completely unacceptable. 4 years and you're giving me spawn systems like this, where I'm literally spawning behind, you know, enemy lines, and the spawns just flip immediately, and I just hate the spawns. It's absolutely horrible, and this could be down to those small maps. It really could be down to having those very small maps, where if someone's in their spawn and someone's on the other side of the map, it's just going to be all over the place. So I do think the small maps have something to do with them. Weapon balancing. So I thought the weapons overall were pretty balanced, apart from the jack off PDW. I mean, what are we doing here? Have you ever tested that? Gun must have been an absolute bot.
You idiot. You're honestly an idiot. I don't know what's wrong with you.
That gun was literally 5-bulleting across the map as an SMG. But yeah, the ARs, the Amos, I'm pretty sure it's called, and the XM4 felt pretty similar in terms of, damage. And yeah, I will say though, I'm gonna be honest, they felt very similar. The ARs felt very similar, and I feel like that's a bit of a worrying sign. You want the different guns to have different characteristics and different kind of handling to make it, obviously feel different to each other. But the Amos and the XM4 felt pretty identical in my hands anyway. Maybe other people's hands it might have felt different, but when I was using it, the XM4 and the Amos, I couldn't really tell a difference between the handling of the guns, which is a worrying sign, because obviously as Call of Duty fans and as, just gamers in general, we want different guns to feel different. So that's just my opinion though. The snipers in this game were very balanced in my opinion. Snipers got a lot of flinch when being hit, and I think that's how it should be. I think Black Ops 3 had the best sniping with no auto-aim on snipers. I don't understand why we have auto-aim on snipers, but yeah, let's ignore that. But I think the snipers in this game take skill, and you're penalized when you do get shot at, which in my opinion, that's how it should be in every Call of Duty. Sniping should never be easy. Attachments. Treyarch have done a great job with the attachments this year, in my opinion, as it's very simplified. No negatives to attachments apart from magazines. Magazines, you put on like a 50 round mag, you're penalized for the aim down sight speed. And I don't think we've got to experience all the attachments just yet. However, it's still in that stupid gunsmith, which isn't good at all. But they brought back fast mags, rapid fire, high caliber as well, I think. So there's going to be more variety and more options to make your gun actually feel different in this Black Ops 6 game. The perks. I think the perk system this year is very good, and it allows for you to play how you want to play. If you're a faster player like myself who likes to run and gun, you will use the red perks for the movement speed buff after getting a kill. I think the specialty thing that they've added into this game allows for more playstyles, but I will say though, the specialty perk that gives you wall hacks when you die is completely cheese, I can't lie. Sound design. I think the sound design in this game is very interesting. I think the guns sound fairly good in my opinion. It's much better than Modern Warfare 3. The Modern Warfare 3 guns just sounded very, rushed. And obviously that was kind of a rushed game because Infinity Ward are absolutely horrible. But yeah, the guns sound like they've got some power behind them, which wasn't the case in Modern Warfare 3 in my opinion. I might be controversial here with the footstep audio. Sometimes I would get audio from someone, then other times I wouldn't, and he'd literally be right beside me, which made absolutely no sense. It was like I wasn't getting, that gradual footstep noise increasing when someone gets closer to you, which obviously makes no sense at all. Obviously, we want that gradual footstep audio that I just wasn't really receiving at times, which made the footstep audio very inconsistent in my opinion. One of the main pros of the footstep audio in my opinion, maybe this is just me, but I thought the verticality of the footsteps were much better than previous CODs. On maps like Skyline, I was able to hear the guy on top of the roof or, on the steps area. For those people that have played the beta, I was able to tell if the guy was above me or on my level. I thought the footstep verticality was very clear, and I was able to understand if the guy was on my level or above me. So I thought the footstep verticality was very good on this game. Way better than previous Call of Duties in my opinion. The main things that I like about this game is obviously the movement. I mean, that's a no-brainer in my opinion, and I think it's going to create a major skill gap. How the SMGs feel, how the basic attachments are in terms of no negatives and only pros, making it easier to make a class for casual players. Of course you'll have metas still, but that's just part of the game obviously and part of every single shooter out there. I think that this is the best COD we've had since Black Ops 4 in my opinion. Yes, people will say you're in the honeymoon phase bro, but I truly believe this COD is way more unique and gives a different feeling than previous titles. People have said all over Twitter, which is an absolute terrible place by the way, it's Cold War 2.0, but if you played the game, It feels literally nothing like Cold War or any COD that I personally played. Apart from the colors kind of look similar to Cold War, and the text kind of looks similar to Cold War. People like Blame Truth out there, yes, I'm taking shots at a way bigger channel when I really shouldn't be, are obviously going to complain and just talk a load of crap and just try to be different and try to be negative. Some people are still stuck in 2010, so that's just on them in my opinion. But overall, man, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is a solid game. In terms of its gameplay mechanics, hopefully the maps can get so much better. That's a make or break for this game. But overall, man, I really liked Black Ops 6. I think it's a very smooth gameplay experience. I think it's very different to what we've ever had before. I think it's very innovative. But I will say, man, this game will come down to the maps. The maps are going to make or break this game. If we have similar maps to these maps that haven't been released yet, yeah, we might be in trouble and we might have to rely on those older maps remastered coming soon. So, yep, the maps are going to make or break this game in my opinion. But do I think Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is worth buying solely for the multiplayer alone? Obviously, we haven't got our hands on zombies or the campaign yet. I'm going to say if you're a multiplayer fan and maybe haven't bought Call of Duty in the last 5 or 6 years, I definitely think it's worth picking up and trying out, as you know, it's a lot different to previous Call of Duty titles. And I think it's just going to give more replayability with this new movement system. And obviously we're getting Master Prestiges back, you know, the older Prestige system. And obviously the camo challenges as well are coming back. So I think there's going to be a lot of things to do when grinding this game for the entire year, guys. But that is my review for Call of Duty Black Ops 6 beta. Obviously, there's one more beta weekend, but I think we're only getting one more map and one more new SMG. So we kind of already know how the game's going to feel. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I will see you in the next one. Comment if you like Black Ops 6 down in the comments below. I'm really intrigued to see your guys' thoughts. But yeah, guys, I will see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys. Peace.